Hey there, I'm John.
And I'm Josh.
And we are talking 2024 college football. It's the beginning of the season, and this is a big season.
It is, man. A lot of new changes, a lot of new rules.
There are new rules.
And kind of the end of the season, we're about to see something real interesting.
The 12-team playoff has finally been enacted, so that just makes it so much more interesting. We've got 12 teams that have a chance to make it to the national championship game.
You're guaranteed, if you are a conference championship, the 5 highest ranked conference championships, which I think they're assuming means the 4 power conferences plus one group of 5 conference. I guess there could be a scenario somehow where 2 group of 5 conferences are ranked higher, but that's their assumption. So I guess we'll see what happens there.
That's right. And so as we come into week 1, there, like normal, there's been a week 0 already this past week. And again, what's typical is they're not huge games in week 0. The most interesting one that we're going to talk about is just the FSU Georgia Tech game, and because that one was played in Ireland, and so they're doing that pretty consistently now. Beautiful stadium, by the way.
Beautiful, man. Yeah, it's soccer stadium. You can tell because one side's very cut off.
Yeah,
but beautiful stadium. Ireland, absolutely gorgeous. And what a game!
And so in this game, FSU starts off with that drive down and then sticks in 2 extra points, so 8-0. Looks like, hey, we're going to smack this one down on you. And then Georgia Tech really sticks with them, through that whole game. They kept it close, which I think is really key.
Yeah. So it's what I've deemed the DJ Ukulele effect. Who knows how to pronounce his last name? But this quarterback has no success, no matter where he goes.
Yeah.
I don't know how he's landing on these huge teams. The kid just isn't it. And I'm not trying to bash him or anything, but he doesn't have what I would call that X factor that you're looking for, that it factor that you're looking for in a quarterback. And it's always nice to see FSU lose early on, so I don't have to hear all about them.
Especially
we
after
were
last
undefeated
season
in the regular season.
Yeah. And then we get beat 60 points by Georgia.
Yeah. So we can move on from them now.
So week 1, what we're going to be looking at first, we're going to start off with number 8 Penn State's going to be at West Virginia.
Is this game really going to be that interesting?
Probably not.
Probably not.
I'm thinking Penn State will probably win that one pretty big.
Yeah, a lot of these matches we're just mentioning because it's power team versus power team.
That's right.
Out of conference schedules, it's good to see how everybody matches up.
That's right.
I think Penn State rolls through West Virginia.
Yeah. And the next one might be a little more interesting. You got number 19 Miami's going to be going to Florida.
I think it's just fun because these 2 teams absolutely hate each other.
For sure. Yeah.
It's a classic Florida rivalry. Florida, arguably the hardest schedule in the entire country, if not potentially ever.
Yeah.
With their current schedule, I think it's 7 top 25 teams, and multiple of those are top 10 teams. So,
and Florida has a lot to prove.
They do. If they want any chance of making a bowl game, I think winning this game is a must.
Yeah. So, it's an interesting to keep an eye on.
Yeah, I agree.
Fresno State's going to be at number 9 Michigan.
I think this game's worth mentioning just because what is Michigan going to do this year?
Yeah.
Obviously, they just went off a national title all the way back at number 9 now, right? They were the number 1 team in the country last year.
Yeah.
All the way back at number 9. No Harbaugh.
Mm-hmm.
Lost their quarterback.
Yep.
A lot of outside noise kind of coming in on them right now. A lot of allegations and different things. So I think it's just interesting to see how Michigan responds week 1.
It will be interesting. It will be interesting.
Do I think they win? Absolutely. I just want to see how they look as a team.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, then you have number 7 Notre Dame. They're going to be playing at number 20 Texas A&M. So College Station. This one. I'll just say this: Texas A&M typically comes in and disappoints somewhere along the way.
So does Notre Dame,
and Notre Dame can as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Number 7 is a pretty high ranking for Notre Dame.
So to me, it's not a must-win for A&M, but it is a must-win for Notre Dame. That's because Notre Dame's not in a conference. They have no guarantee of making it to the playoffs, no matter how good they do, right? Obviously, they can get an automatic bid, but you never know. A&M can lose this game, lose every single one of their out-of-conference games, win the SEC, and they automatically get that bid, right?
Yeah.
So I think Notre Dame, this is a must-win for them, and I actually do think they sneak this one out.
Okay. Then you have number 23 USC. This one's going to be on Sunday. But number 23 USC is going to be playing number 13 LSU in Las Vegas. for again week one. What do you think is going to happen here? My gut says that LSU is going to come in strong on this.
Yeah. I just, preseason rankings, AP 25, it's just all kind of bogus. It's all speculation as to what teams can do, hence why Florida State's ranked number 10, USC is ranked number 23. These teams who were supposed to be good every year, who just never really perform. At least LSU has a little bit more to back up their talk lately. They can actually have a decent team. I think LSU wins.
Okay. Then we have Western Kentucky's going to be at Alabama. The only reason this is worth mentioning is just that Kellen DeBoer is coming in here. His inaugural game, after Nick Saban has retired. What's going to happen? What is that going to look like? He had a great season last year with Washington. He's got a great record overall. I mean, he's a winning coach. But what's going to happen? SEC,
Alabama dominates.
Different animal. Yeah, I expect Alabama to dominate, but Alabama's got a lot to show. There's a lot of transfers, a lot of talent. Milrose back. So,
fun fact: Western Kentucky's quarterback is Ty Hilton, who played for LSU at one point, I believe, Auburn at one point. So he has a little bit of a revenge game. He's coming into this, and I think he could compete for a quarter. So I think Western Kentucky stays in it. Alabama looks bad first quarter, and then they win by 42 plus.
Okay. Yep. Boise State, they're going to be at Georgia Southern. We're going to go over there to watch this game. And what are you expecting here? Boise State, by the way, they're expected to be. They're currently the number one ranked
group of five.
In the group of five. So
it's kind of their playoff spot to lose entering the season, right? Everybody's like, it's them or Liberty, maybe Memphis. You could always throw an App State or someone in there if you want to, but there's really not too many teams competing for this top spot here. Georgia Southern went 5-1 at home last year, right? They have a very good home atmosphere. This game's supposed to be sold out. It's hot. It's humid. Boise State does play in their Inferno. Maddox Matson was named quarterback. Mad Dog over 4-star transfer, 5-star original QB Nelson. So you're looking at a Boise team who is loaded with Ashton Genty at running back, Dubar at running back, a solid wide receiver core. I think the big questions is how's the defense going to do for Boise? Mm-hmm. It's a defense that struggled at points last year, and a lot of those players are returning. How have they developed? And obviously, it's a first game for Spencer Danielson as head coach. I gotta believe that Boise handles this game really well. It's a 13-point spread. I think Boise covers. I think we win by 21 plus. I guess we'll see.
That's right. That's right. Again, that's for week one. You have any upsets for us?
All right. So, it's always, if I go 1 of 2 with these upsets, I'd be ecstatic. And obviously one of them you might be able to guess just because we didn't mention it in the big games, but that's number 14 Clemson versus number 1 Georgia.
Yeah, probably one of the biggest games of the weekend.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Here's my thing. Clemson hasn't been super relevant in a while.
Yeah.
They still got a good head coach, man.
They do.
They're still a good team. And, Georgia, just to me, it seems like maybe more hype than talent this year. I feel like they've had more talent than hype the past couple of years, and that's really shown. But this year, I just keep hearing people go on and on and on about how great Georgia's going to be, and I'm just kind of I don't know if I see it.
Yeah.
So I feel more confident about this one than my next pick. So I think Clemson actually knocks off number 1 Georgia at the beginning of the season, and I don't think that's the end of Georgia's season by any means.
Yeah.
But I do think Clemson wins. And
next.
This is absolutely wild. Colorado State at number 4 Texas. Remember, Texas struggled last year against the group of 5 team. And I think they struggle again this year, but Colorado State actually pulls it off. I actually think Colorado State will be a sneakily good team this year. So I think Colorado State stuns Texas in Texas's first year in the SEC.
That would be pretty devastating for Texas.
It really would.
More so than Georgia losing to
for
Clemson.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely for sure. So I guess we'll see what happens, but I'm excited for week 1, man.
All right, that's week 1. Stay tuned, and we'll talk about the results of week 1 and then what's going to happen in week 2.
Go Broncos.